Right, I've just done a walk around video. I mean, I went over the basics without knowing any details about the bike, and I know people are going to say, well, that's hardly that good, but you could read stats all day online, to be honest with you. And I did a couple of other bike stuff, and I did that. Hold on to adjust this microphone. And I kind of did that, and threw out a few stats and stuff. But sure, it doesn't matter. A few stats isn't going to tell you what a bike ride's like, you know what I mean? Or what it sounds like, or what it feels to actually own it and stuff. So it's all nonsense. But I mean, the basic stats on this bike are going to be your ride height or your seat height, which is perfect. If you're 5'7" to about 5'11", you're going to be comfortable. Now I would say if you're 6 foot plus, test ride it before you do a purchase, because you might be leaned over a wee bit more than me and may put a bit of pressure on your wrists. But really, it is a sportier riding position. It's not that sporty. Rear pillion, I mean, if you're planning to take a pillion on it, this is probably not the bike for you. I mean, yes, you can do it from time to time, but that looks like a horrendous seat for someone to try and sit on back here, and they're going to hold on to that. Well, I wouldn't thought so. Doesn't feel safe to me. But maybe once in a blue moon. The seat pegs, of course, are high as well, so you're going to have to bring a midget with you. But it's not for that. It's not for touring. It's really not for taking a pillion on it. It's a naked sports bike. Chain drive naked sports bike, electronic radar modes, electronic suspension, Brembo brakes at the front, great dash, great engine. Right, going to get a move on again, and as I said, I don't have too long today, but I want to take it for a blast. I'm going to take it towards kind of Bangor direction here, find somewhere to turn, and I'll take it back down towards Charleshurst. Like, I'm really only out for an hour or so. I'm getting this GPS mount on it, and then I didn't actually bring the GPS with me, but I'll do a review of the GPS mount in the days to come. What a fabulous machine though. I mean, I like a bike that you just jump on and you instantly fall in love with it, and that's what you do with this bike. Like, I would own one tomorrow. I think with a naked bike, like the retro bikes and stuff, it's cool to own one, and I would. Like, of course, I would near own every bike under the sun if I could, but when it comes down to it, what a part with the money to buy it, above and beyond other bikes? Probably not. Now, this type of bike, whenever I was buying the R1200RS, I really had to fight hard to say, do I want a naked sports bike or do I want a third bike, because I was coming off an F800 ST, and to me, with the amount of commuting and the fact that I was doing winter commuting, I just said, well, the R1200RS to me, and I rode the naked version and I loved it too, but I just thought with the R1200RS, it's just going to be that wee bit comfier. It feels a wee bit more of a plush ride. It feels bigger, more substantial on the road. Feels more like you could sort of do a cruising speed on it, more touring speed, where this is a wee bit more round to go. You know, you could put the sat nav and all on the other one and it not look like, you know, it's part of the bike, where this, it's a lot smaller frame, feels a lot physically smaller than my bike does. Obviously not as wide and stuff, so there's subtle differences, obviously, being a naked sports compared to a touring bike, but I absolutely love a naked sports bike. I think I've said this in other videos. My favourite bike from when I was younger was a CB919. Absolutely loved the thing. Got really beat up in all the online reviews, but it was the original hooligan bike, and I absolutely loved it. This bike just blows it out of the water. Now, well, of course it does, but you know what I'm saying. But these heated grips are on. Yeah, they are. So, what else do I want to talk about? I mean, look how nimble this thing is. It feels like it weighs about 10 kilos. Do you know what I mean? It's so light in comparison, so... Oh, man. It's actually got so warm. Now, where's the exit here? But exit straight on. Yeah, the gears, I mean, it's very easy to go up and down through the gears as well. Very easy. Your quick shifter in this bike only does up, it doesn't do down, so you have to clutch down, but you can quick shift up. So, I'm sure I'm overly keen on that. It's very easy to forget yourself when you have a quick shifter, and then you forget even to use it, and then sometimes you remember about it and you start using it a bit more, but I don't really like the idea of having you know, you can quick shift one way but not the other way. That would confuse me because you're always flicking up and down through the gears. So I'm not sure I'm mod keen on that. But I mean, for the bike you're getting, probably live with it. Probably never going to get a bike that does everything perfectly well, so you're just going to have to weigh it out. Like, this is so much easier. You see this taking that corner? What a machine. Whoa. Very, very quick. Very noisy. Right, let's see. We'll go this way. Belfast Bangor. Look, there's hit neutral again. I don't like that. There's a couple of times it did that to me already, and I've only just had the bike. Now let's quick shift up. Yeah, okay, nice. Right, I'm going to just go here and head towards Bangor for a second. Get out the motorway now. It shouldn't just be as busy. The motorway traffic here heading towards Bangor, especially this time of day. It's a lovely day though, it's roasting warm. I got soaked yesterday. All my gear was completely ringing last night, and I hung it all up, and then I got up this morning, everything seemed to be relatively dry, but the gloves, which is the worst thing in the world, but thank God the heated grips in the BMWs would roast the hand off you at bar 2, so by just riding the bike to work with a wee bit of wind on the heated grips on, soon dried them. Right, let's get in this outside lane. Now, wind protection, I have said it's very good. What I don't like about a naked bike, and it's only if you're going to be on it every day, I hate when the mirrors are. It makes the bike look a wee bit better that they're on the handlebars. On the Triumph Speed Triple was the same, but they're pretty much unusable. You feel like you have to sort of sit back in the seat to kind of glance in your mirrors, and that becomes really annoying. So I don't like that about the bikes, but I do understand on a naked bike there's very few places you can actually mount a mirror. Now up to a wee bit higher speeds now, and I can feel the wind coming in a bit. It's not surprisingly hitting my legs though. I can feel a wee bit on my upper arms, and I certainly can feel it in my head now, so we're slowing down now. Speed cameras. What a lovely sounding engine. I really like that engine note off this bike. Filtering it would be a dream as well. It feels narrow and it feels short as well, and you're going to have no problem like popping it up somewhere to park it and walking backwards and forwards with it. You're going to be able to move it around quite easily. Now I'm repeating myself over and over again because these are the things that are really standing out to me, and I don't really have many negatives, to be honest with you. Wee bit of wind hitting your face, oh well, you bought a naked bike, do you know what I mean? Now, what I can do is tell you how it feels compared to the Triumph Speed Triple, which is the 1050cc from Triumph. This is a better bike. It's a better bike. I would have this any day of the week. Now, the triple engines are something special and they're a wee bit unique. And going for a triple engine, I definitely see the appeal in it, and I love the triple engine, I love the note out of them and stuff. So I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying, like for like, this is a better bike. And I know that because when I instantly sat on the Speed Triple and I was using it, the throttle response was a wee bit snotchy. It didn't feel as smooth to ride as this. It felt slightly that it would be harder to put round corners, a wee bit more uncertain on the bike. This bike, straight away confidence inspiring. People say the BMWs are clinical, right? And I've seen a lot of people say that as a negative because they see that as lacking character. Being clinical to me is character. That is a characteristic. That is what you want a bike to be. I mean, being clinical means that it does everything to 100% precision, and I do understand what they mean. I mean, the Alfa Romeos of cars were never clinical. You know, Triumphs have never been a clinical motorcycle, and it gives them a bit of character because they're a wee bit different and they have a wee bit more personality, people would say. But I just don't agree with that. You know, being clinical, that is a personality trait as well, and it's a brilliant one. And certainly a bike that you're going to use every day, you want it to be clinical, you want it to do everything well. I would hate to be on a bike and feel a bit uncertain about how it's going to behave coming out of a corner because it doesn't do the same thing on every corner. So this bike is clinical, and it feels like that, and it feels like a weapon. as soon as you sit on it, but at the same time it's comfortable. It has you in the right riding position. I can ride it all day. If I could afford one, I think I've just pushed out the Triumph Scrambler that I rode, that retro bike. Retro bikes are nice, but I mean, as a naked bike goes, it just doesn't live up to this bike whatsoever. So that old cool boxer engine is just an older engine, feels older. Get on this bike, feels a million times better. So would I bet over a speed triple? Yes, I would. Would I bet over a Scrambler? Personally, yes, because I don't care really. I don't like, or I'm not saying I don't like that old rustic look of bike, because I do, but I quite like the modern bikes too. So would I bet over that? Yes. I suppose the big question then is, would I bet over the R1200 RS? I would bet over the R1200R, I know that. 100% certain. Would I bet over the R1200 RS? Now, trying to be 100% honest with you, and 100% kind of impartial. That's the word I was looking for before I lost my train of thought. Trying to be 100% impartial. I think right now, today, in this type of conditions, I would rather ride this bike. Yeah, I think I would rather ride this bike today, this type of conditions, in the heat with a wee bit of wind hitting me. I love the naked sports bikes, like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love these type of bikes anyway. So it's very hard for me to say that I wouldn't go for it. Now, brakes are great, and I thank God, because this guy just like stopped there. Right, we'll nip around him here off this car. Yeah, wow, love it. Yeah, so I think this type of weather conditions, yes I would. We're through this, but power everywhere that you need it. Every single place that you need it, you've got it on this bike. Fine in every single gear. Revs really well. Feels so light, man. The way this thing corners, this is the way a sports bike feels, and the difference for me between a sports bike and a naked sports bike is you get a slightly more relaxed riding position on a naked sports bike than you obviously do on the sports. And a thing for me is, with a naked sports bike, they've all the torque and all the power, usually more torque actually than the out-and-out sports bikes. But when you hit them high speeds, you can't continue to do them. So it's very easy to go on this bike from 40 to 110 miles an hour. I bet you within seconds I could get there. But could you stay at 110 for any prolonged period of time? No, you couldn't, because the wind becomes too much for you. It becomes too aggressive, and you're forced to slow down. And to me, that's almost a safety feature of these bikes. You can have all the fun in the world, but you're able to slow down when if you want. Brakes are good. So I'll not go too much further up here. I'll say I do have to get back. And I'm back in road mode, and I haven't tried dynamic mode, but Nigel was telling me that's almost the sports setting, so I assume it puts the suspension in hard, and it puts, you know, the rider mode in the road position. It basically just is a quick way to get it into the most aggressive sort of sporty position, which is fair enough. And I haven't really tried that in my own bike, so I'm not going to bother with it in this bike. Too many speed cameras up here. What is it about Bangor with speed cameras? Now here's a natural place to turn. I'll turn it here, I think. Not go any further. Now we do see brakes, brilliant. How does it turn? Brilliant. How does it feel? Brilliant. How does it look? In my opinion, brilliant. How does it ride? Brilliant. How's the comfort? Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't knock this bike. So I kind of have to give Mark a bit of an update now. Now this is more for ban the bike. So I'll say this, there's no question in my mind that this bike is narrower, would filter easier, is better for the summer, feels lighter, more nimble, more sporty. They're all the things that it edges slightly on the R1200 RS. The R1200 RS feels bigger, feels more substantial, feels more, I would say, controlled, more reserved, more comfortable. So, Mark's question to me was, if he was putting these two bikes up against each other, knowing that they're from two different categories, but also knowing that if he changed this bike and put a higher screen on it and maybe a box on the back for commuting to work, what's going to be better? And this is where I'm at with the situation. I think if you're commuting I think this will do the job, right? So it'll definitely do the job, and you're going to have a good time doing it because it's a brilliant bike. So it's definitely going to do the job for you, and you're going to be able to filter through traffic, no problem. And it's not too quick, do you know what I mean? It's not such a powerful bike that it's become snotchy. It's a refined clinical engine, so you're not going to have all that snotchiness. So you're going to be able to go at low speeds and have the confidence. You're going to be able to drop a foot, you're going to have the confidence. And that's something I worried about with the R1200 RS, to be honest with you. Could I drop my foot in traffic? And it put me off a lot of bikes, which is why I went for the BMW, because they seem to put the seat heights at a reasonable height. So it's going to come down to two things for me. Three things possibly, but you need to have a look at how big this tank is yourself on the MPG, because I don't know off the top of my head. But check the tank on it and check the fuel, because as a guy who commutes on a bike every day, you want to make sure you don't have to stop at the petrol station every day. A big win for me when I picked the R1200 RS was the size of the tank and the MPG that I got, and I knew for commuting in the traffic that I commute in, I wouldn't be aggressively riding the bike to and from work every day. It's not country roads, it's motorway miles, and there's a lot of traffic on the motorway at the times when I'm commuting. So for me, with the size of tank that it is, I could push to about 3.5 days of my week, and sometimes I work a 4-day week, sometimes I work a 5-day week. And what I was finding with the F800 ST was it was doing me kind of 2 days, so it's filling up at least twice a week, which means I'm saving time by taking the bike to work, but then I'm having to stop at the petrol station every second day, and that wears thin on you, right? So with me going for the R1200S with the size of the tank on it, I could go to the petrol station easily once a week, and I mean easily. I can kind of do 3 days full commute on it and still have a wee bit left for the 4th day, so I can almost push a short week on the bike. But if I'm on a 4-day week and I work 1 day a week from home, I can probably do the full week on it, is what I'm saying to you. But if I'm in work all week and I'm commuting every day of that week, I can probably take it on a Monday, Tuesday, and maybe on a Wednesday morning, or maybe on a Wednesday afternoon, whatever I feel like, or whatever I have time for, or whenever I fancy going to the shop. I basically filled up once a week, and it never annoys me then. Going to a petrol station once a week is fine. That's the first thing. Second thing is, both these bikes are not going to tire you on a commuting distance. The seats are comfortable enough in both, the riding position is comfortable enough in both, and you're going to adapt to both very easily. Neither of them are very extreme, this one being slightly more sportier, but I mean slightly as in I feel my foot pegs are slightly higher up and I can't afford 2 degrees more. I just can feel that there is a difference, but substantially, nah, it's not. You're going to be comfortable in this every day as you would on the other. So 50 miles an hour, better watch some speed. Yeah, that's alright. So that's fine. Heated grips and everything else in the bike you're going to be comfortable on. The fact that you can just ride in mode, you're going to be safe enough on it. You're going to be able to filter on both bikes, but this one a wee bit easier. So petrol's going to be the one thing. The second thing for me is how far you're commuting, okay? Because if you're commuting maybe 30-40 miles, I don't think either bike's going to tire you out, to be honest. And it's hard to say what this bike's going to be like with windscreen. On today, I do not feel like I'm getting slapped with an awful lot of wind, but I just know with being a naked bike, I can feel wind in a couple of places now after leaving my bike in to get the GPS mount on this bike that I couldn't feel on the R1200 RS when I was leaving it down to the showroom. And I'm talking about my upper arms and kind of my belly, more my chest and stuff on this bike. I can't really feel it on my legs, to be honest with you, so that's a credit to this bike, because for a naked bike you would expect that I could feel a lot of wind on my legs, but because it doesn't have a lot of you're not sitting in the seat that much, you're kind of sitting on it a wee bit more. I mean, in terms of your legs, you're kind of wrapped around the tank rather than being inside the tank, so there is going to be more wind hit your leg as well. So can you live with that? It depends if that's the style of bike you want, but it's not going to be such forcible wind that it's going to disrupt your riding too much if you're only riding for 30-40 miles, maybe even more than that. But if you're doing a hell of a commute, the wind is going to force you to change the screen for one, and then you're really going to have to speak to somebody who has that screen on to see what sort of job that it's actually going to do on the bike for you. The other thing's parking. This bike's a lot more nimble, it's a lot easier to walk with, it's a lot lighter, so this is certainly the easier to park out of the two. Then the last big thing then is, are you riding in all weather conditions? And I think for me personally, that's where I have opted for the R1200 RS. And I'll tell you why. A couple of years ago, I had a GSX-R, and before that I had the CB919, and when I went with the GSX-R, I never really wanted to take it to work because it was too much of a riding position, but I realised at that time that compared to the CB919, a third bike is it's a lot easier in winter or in rainy conditions. It is a lot easier to live with. And then when I got the F800 ST, I didn't ever love the bike, I didn't even overly like the bike, but as soon as I started doing commuting on it in winter months and in October and November when the rain was coming on, I felt great on the F800 ST. I felt like it was extremely comfortable in the wet, and as I say, yesterday I went home and I got soaked, and I did get soaked. I was absolutely ringing by the time I went home. So I'm not saying that you're not going to get hit with wind, you're definitely going to get hit with the wind, but it's how the wind hits you, you know. It's more the wind and the rain dragging it up from the road surface, or it sort of striking against the windscreen and coming onto you. You know, you are very protected though on the bike. You know, I feel like if you were getting peppered with a load of hailstones, you can easily hide on the R1200 RS. So for me, it definitely has a bit more wind protection. It's definitely slightly on the more comfortable side. On the Boxer engine's completely different. It's just such a different engine than this engine. So I honestly, I'll be totally honest, I can't actually make my mind up for you, Mark. I mean, that's how close this is in my mind, because they're both different potential purchases, really. And I'm trying to give you the right advice here, but they're so close in my mind. I could flip a coin. If I hadn't bought my own bike and I bought one of these and put a screen on it, I would still be happy with it. That's the truth. I would definitely still be happy with it. I wouldn't say a negative. So I mean, I guess it depends what you're going to do with the bike. It really does. If you're doing a winter commute and you're commuting in all weather conditions and you want to be protected from the rain because you don't want to get to the office and be soaked, and you want to be able to tuck your knees in and get out of the wind a wee bit more, and you're considering maybe doing a bit of touring, I'm going to say the R1200 RS is probably the bike for you. If, however, you're commuting and you may or may not do the winter months because you know you have an alternative mode of transport, so in the really, really bad weather you can maybe take a car, jump on a train or something, and you're not really planning touring miles, but you're maybe planning the odd blast at the weekend for an hour or a couple of hours just to get down the road a wee bit. This is the bike for you. Now, I think I've run the wrong way here, so we're gonna have to find a place to turn, because I think I should have went off there. Gear 5, what? Just pulled in, didn't even change gear. The fuel tank's not great in this bike. I got it at half a tank full. Now I know it's a smaller tank, you can physically tell it's a smaller tank, but I got it half a tank and Nigel said, like, are you going for it? I said, nah, not really. But I've not been on it that long and it's fairly dropped. You know, you're not going to get the same MPG, so you're going to have to weigh that into your mind. Depends if you can deal with a wee bit of hassle. With the type of miles that I do, the type of commuting miles I do, and the type of riding I do, and the fact that I ride year round, I think the sensible option is the R1200 RS, and it'll never disappoint you at R1200 RS. It's a guarantee that it's one of the most reliable bikes out there you can buy. I just guarantee it. Belfast City Airport. Oh, I think we're on the right road. I think I've done the right thing there. Yeah, I can guarantee it's totally reliable, as this would be. But I think there would be things with this bike that you would have to kind of live with. You would have to say to yourself, for me personally, I'd have to say, is the bike worth struggling through the rain in the winter months, because you're definitely going to get hit more with the wind than the rain. Even with an aftermarket screen, you just are. It's never going to give you the firm protection that the R1200 RS has. And you know, the truth is, if the screen isn't as good as it should be in the R1200 RS, you can change the screen on it as well. So like for like, the R1200 RS is just going to be more wind protection. Not going to that petrol station a week. Oh, week on week, 52 weeks a year. For me, I would have to say, to get on this type of bike, I would need to be so in love with it to do that week on week, because going to the petrol station every other night, you know, it's not every day I jump on the bike. I'm glad I'm on the bike, but it's not every day I get on the bike and say to myself, oh wow, I'm on the bike. Some days it's just, oh, I'm getting home now. It's just another means of transport, and I get home in a good time. Especially if it's raining and stuff, it's just like, oh, I just want to get home now. And them days are the worst, when you have to stop at a filling station and take off your helmet, take off your gloves and put the petrol in the thing and whatever. So, you know, gonna have to live with that too, unfortunately, with this bike. And then it depends what you're doing. I don't go out for many weekend blasts as much as I used to, because I commute on the bike every day. So you know, I just don't get the opportunity to go out just as much as probably I would like. And I'm interested in the touring element, you know, taking a weekend away and stuff. So I think the R1200 RS suits a wee bit better for that as well. You know, for me, you know what type of miles I'm doing, you understand where my head's at, and you can probably now understand why I chose the R1200 RS. You know, and I think I felt the same actually when I come home and rode the Speed Triple. I remember coming home, phoning a couple mates saying, wow, I was out on this today, yeah, that is some bike. And I instantly loved it as well as I do this one, because I think, where did I go here? I'm gonna have to go this way. I think I'm on the wrong road. Oh, thank you. Because I instantly loved that Speed Triple as well. Fell in love with it almost immediately, just as I have with this bike. So, city centre, Queensbridge. Let's go this way. Oh, Titanic Quarter. Where am I? 30 miles an hour. Well, fate has happened again, and rather than go where I'm supposed to go, I'm now find myself riding through the city. So at least you're going to be able to see what this is like for city and town riding. Yeah, so you probably see where my head's at it. You know, it's a sensible choice to go for the R1200 RS, and by no means is it a slack bike, and by no means would you ever get bored on it, and by no means do I feel it's not sporty enough, and by no means do I not like the look of it or anything, you know. So I think for me, for the type of miles I'm doing, just because I think owning this, the ownership of this bike would piss me off slightly more about going to the filling station than on a bad day I would just go, oh, I can't be bothered. So I think for that reason, the R1200 RS for me is a safe choice. Now, what bike, if you just said that I was going to ride for 3 months of summer every year, but do a bit of commuting on it, I would have this. And I think that's where my head's at. Like, are we going to have to go right here now? You know, I haven't a clue where I'm going. I'm going to be late. 25 to 12, get me home. Not home, back to work, you know what I'm saying? The west, south, M1, please. Bring me to M1. Now where's this? Bring me M3? What? What the hell's this road doing? Tell you, come out of that Odyssey and I always take that sneaky right up there towards Queen's Bridge. So I'm going to be doing something here that I probably shouldn't be, but I'm going to do it because there's no police around and I'm just doing it. This is where I'm going. Then it says the south M1's there. Frick's sake, where the hell am I going? Well, there's a lot. The west, south and stuff. I should have joined the M3 there, sorry. I'm doing crazy stuff here and I'm not finding the right place to go. Should have went on there. Probably have to cut all this out of the video because you'll be laughing at me right now. It could also be the longest video recording of all time. It's quite a warm bike. I can feel the heat of the engine. Now, I have a wee bit of pins and needles in my hands. Sometimes you get that if there's a wee bit of vibration coming from the bike. And I never get that in the R1200 RS. There's less of a vibration, more of a movement on the R1200 RS because you can actually feel the engine move from left to right. But in this, it's just a wee subtle vibration the whole time. It's giving me a bit of pins and needles in my hands. So, that's something I didn't expect to happen, but it's certainly happening. And I can feel a wee bit of just constant vibrations, you know. Oh, come on. It's happening. I'm actually sweating there. Right, get out there, boy. Are these the slowest lights? These lights work? Right, we're going this way. Whether we're allowed to or not. That's filter, boy. Filter, filter, filter. So easy on this bike. Alright, I know where we are. We are safe. How many cranes are in Belfast? earth of the building. M1 South, yes please. Yeah, definitely feel vibrations in my hands a wee bit. It's giving me a bit of pins and needles. So I've made my mind up, Mark. If I was back in and I was doing the same choice for myself, I know which bike I would go, R1200 RS. If I was you, just have a look at the size of the engine. You're not going to be disappointed by the bike, certainly not. So just have a look at the size of the engine, type of miles that you're doing, and whether you're going to commute all year round. And if you find that the petrol tank's going to be decent enough for you, and you're happy enough that in the winter months, you know, you may be better take the car, or you can live with the wind and the rain a wee bit more. And if you're more so fancying going a bit of blast at the weekend, and you're probably unlikely to tour. I mean, you can't tour in this bike, but I'm just saying, preference wise, if you can live with those things and do whatever, go for this bike. There you go, conclusion done.